What's going on, guys? Super Savage 789 here, bringing you guys a video today doing More Perfect Cell Than Good, episode 4. In the last episode, we covered the Universe 6 tournament with Cell, Gohan and Vegeta all putting in work for their universe. Vegeta then ended up learning the God to Blue tactic much earlier, and we left off with a reveal of Cell Black. We return to this timeline now. Trunks stares at Black, afraid of the being in front of him. The black skin is just a design to differentiate Black from Cell. So to Trunks, he just looks like perfect Cell with a weird earring. He believes that he didn't finish off Cell when he thought he had, and somehow he came back and became perfect. It doesn't make sense to him, but now he has no time to really think it. He powers up to Super Saiyan 2 and cuts Black's arm off, before using a Taiyoken to blind him. He attempts to escape, but Black would use instant transmission to find him, and begins to beat him up. In a last-ditch effort, Mai rocks up with a gun and shoots at Black, distracting him for Trunks to escape, where that backfires, leading to Trunks having to accidentally heal her, and getting kicked into the ruins of Capsule Corp. He then gets in his time machine and would flee to the past just like normal. When arriving at Capsule Corp, Vegeta and Cell would stop their training, with Cell using instant transmission to go and get a sensu beam. Trunks wakes up and attacks Cell since he looks like Black. His mind won't correlate that this isn't Black, so he continues attacking Cell in a relentless barrage of attacks. Before Cell can fight back, Vegeta steps in the way, asking his son what he's doing. Trunks would stop his onslaught, realizing that his father is alive. He did make it to the past after all. So why is Cell there? Trunks is briefed about what happened since he was gone, and is shocked that Cell had some good in him. This makes Cell scoff in return, as he remarks they might still be evil and just waiting for the day where he can become stronger than everyone else, before he discards them, which worries Trunks as he asks him not to do that. Trunks explains about his timeline and Cell attacking everyone, since he thought he had killed him, which shocked everyone. Since the idea that Black is a god doesn't come up, the whole subplot with Beerus, Whis, and Shin suspecting Kibito doesn't occur. Over in Universe 10, Zamasu would be watching the Universe 6 tournament on GodTube. It would seal the fighters. He takes interest in Cell, the bio-android. He believes that Cell's body may be the best to take due to his increased regeneration, teleportation, and overall strength. So Zamasu would go to Zuno to see if he can take Cell's body. After Zamasu leaves Zuno's office, Zuno tells Kibito and the Supreme Kai who would report this to Lord Beerus and Whis, since this seems suspicious. Connecting the dots, Whis asks Trunks if Cell is wearing a green Batara, which Trunks would confirm. They realize that this is Zamasu and that whole scene goes the same, with Beerus going and wasting him. Since Gohan is busy at work, no one would inform him about the mission to the future, so Cell, Trunks and Vegeta end up going to stop Black. They meet up with the survivors, where they all begin attacking Cell, due to him looking exactly like Black. Trunks reassures him on Cell and says that if he isn't wearing a weird earring, he isn't an enemy. Although they find that weird, they agree. After meeting the survivors, the three all leave, where Vegeta calls for Black. Before Vegeta can fight him, however, Cell shouts that he's his. He flies up towards Black, telling him they can try and mimic perfection, all he likes, but he will only be a mimic and nothing more. Black and Cell collide with each other and begin to battle at high speeds, making it difficult for Trunks to keep up with which Black and which is Cell. Vegeta, however, can always tell, due to him having trained with Cell so much, that he knows his fighting style that Black struggles to copy. Cell would end up overpowering Black and knocks him to the ground, firing a Kamehameha to vaporize his imposter. At the last moment, however, Zamasu flies in the way, taking the attack, demonstrating his immortality. When Zamasu reveals his immortality, Cell gets an idea on how to beat him, asking Vegeta and Trunks to stop Black, as he begins fighting the Kai. After knocking Zamasu away from them, Cell creates a Cell Jr. and whispers in its ear, making it giggle. It opens his mouth wide as Cell tells Zamasu he's finished. He begins to use a muffle bow on the Kai, sweeping him up very quickly to Zamasu's shock. Before he can escape, Cell ends up placing Zamasu inside the Cell Jr., who shuts his mouth, becoming the jar to keep Zamasu in. I don't know if this is possible or not, but for the sake of the story it is, so hush, small child. Black would be getting double-teamed by Super Saiyan 2 Trunks and God Vegeta, who would transform to blue on landing blows, doing serious damage to Black as he struggles to keep up. His regeneration does make it easier so he can remain in the fight while healing himself and growing stronger. When seeing Zamasu get sealed, Black shakes his head at his other self being so useless. He takes interest in Cell making a tiny version of himself, and begins to do that. He creates a bunch of Black Juniors and tells them to free Zamasu, which they listen to, rushing towards Cell and his child. Cell creates a massive Kamehameha and vaporizes them, all to the relief of everyone else. Using instant transmission, Black appears behind Cell with a keyblade and slices the Cell Jr. in half, releasing Zamasu from his vessel as he breathes heavily, looking at Cell angry. Black asks Zamasu if he'll be able to handle this fight, which annoys Zamasu as he turns around, grabbing Black by the throat, telling him to shut up. With a grin over his face, Black tells Zamasu they can always use their secret technique if he's going to be more of a liability than an ally, which Zamasu agrees, and the duo fusion to merge Zamasu much earlier. The fusion looks at the three, sending fear into all of them. That power is too strong for them to defeat. They'll be killed one by one. Using his telepathy, Cell tells Trunks and Vegeta to flee while he causes a distraction. He's the only one who can hang in there long enough to allow their escape. They don't get time to argue as Cell uses Taiyoken to blind the Potara fusion and rushes at him, kicking him away. Vegeta and Trunks begin moving far enough away where Trunks throws the time machine down. Both Saiyans get inside as Trunks presses the button to return to the past. Before the time machine fully seals, Vegeta leaps out, telling Trunks that he can save them all, watching as his son vanishes back to the past. Vegeta flies over to Cell, who sees Vegeta annoying him. He tells him to leave, why is he still there? With a smirk over his face, Vegeta tells Cell that he has pride, he won't just flee like a coward. Both of them get absolutely manhandled by the fusion, since his strength is too strong for them to handle though. Before they can be killed, Shin and Gowasu arrive and use Kai to take the duo away to the Supreme Kai's planet. Vegeta protests this, telling them to let him return and fight Zamasu, but they advise him not to do that. After an hour, the fusion will wear off, and then they can go and finish off Black and Zamasu, which they agree to, using the time to try and get back some strength. Merge Zamasu get the idea to destroy all life on Earth, however he has some time to relax this moment, and test out his new body, which he would do. He goes to his cabin and begins to train, however he'd be shocked when his body begins to defuse. Shin tells everyone what's happening and shows them with a crystal ball. They believe they will split until two merged Zamasu appear. They begin duplicating to their shock as Gowasu comes up with a theory that their body merge at a cellular level. There is no way to defeat this threat, they should return back to their timeline. Although Vegeta wants to argue, he knows that it's right, but he has to save that there are still survivors they should at least save. The four all travel to Earth, with the Supreme Kai and Gowasu grab the remaining survivors. Using the time ring, they all travel back to the past, just dodging Zamasu getting to them. The infinite number of Zamasus begin to spread through the universe, killing planet after planet, destroying universe after universe, which the Grand Priest would inform Zeno about. When Zeno sees this, he decides he doesn't like it, so he merely erases every universe, destroying Zamasu as well as every universe in the future. When returning to the past, Trunks would rush over to all the survivors, watching as they all appear. Then the two Kais, Cell and his father appear and explain what happened. They all just have to pray that Zamasu doesn't fall on them, not knowing of their fate. Having sent so many new key signatures appear, Gohan and Piccolo arrive, where they learn what has happened. They apologize for not being there to help, which Trunks would understand. Just then, Whis' scepter begins to beep as the Grand Priest informs him that Zeno wants to speak with Gohan. Since Gohan isn't an idiot, no one is worried about him getting the universe erased, and he, Whis, and Shin go and see Zeno. Gohan would play a game with Zeno before telling him that he has to go and see his family, promising to bring them next time. Zeno waves goodbye as the trio then return back to Earth. Future Trunks would stay in the past with the rest of the survivors, since they have no reason to return back to their timeline. Trunks would keep up with his training, however not as much as you would expect. He does want to defend this timeline, however he never has so much peace, so he wants to take that time to relax. He'd also be training with his kid self and Goten, since they like training together, and will want to train with the future warrior. After his defeat from Black and Zamasu, Vegeta would be training in Time Chamber for 3 days to try and master his power. He would learn how to enter the Mastered Super Saiyan Blue, giving him much more power. Cell would be training with Piccolo and Gohan, since he had no need to train with Whis anymore. It results in them getting much better gains, especially Piccolo. Just like normal, Zeno would hold the tournament of power with Beerus, Whis, and Shin return, having to go and assemble a team of 10 for the Universe 7. Since Gohan is the most mature, he'd be the team captain and would be tasked to gather the team. His initial picks were Cell and Piccolo, who would of course join. He also picked Vegeta, who initially would be against it, but after Whis delivers Bra, he chooses to join. Future Trunks would also be chosen, although Beast and Warriors are reluctant, since he is from the future, but no one knows about that, and plus he is from Universe 7, so they technically aren't breaking rules. They should also get Krillin, since he is a very tactical fighter, even if he isn't exactly the strongest. Cell recommends the androids, since they are both powerful in their own right, and they have infinite stamina. He also recommends Goten and Trunks, which Vegeta shuts down, however Future Trunks would agree with Cell. The boys are actually really powerful and really creative when it comes to battle. They can think outside the box, and be really reliable. Reluctantly, Vegeta would concede and agrees. Cell goes to 18 and tells her about the tournament, however she can't join due to being pregnant. Her and Krillin got together later in this timeline, so she would get pregnant later. Cell tells him the stakes of the tournament, and tells Krillin if he doesn't join, he'll just kill him now. After gulping, Krillin agrees. Cell then finds and asks 17, tells Cell they can't leave his island, so Cell creates a couple of Cell Juniors to defend it while he's gone, making 17 agree. Now, they have 9 fighters, but who's the 10th? They bring up Roshi and Tien, as they may be useful, until they hear a very optimistic voice behind them. Hey guys, I heard there'll be a tournament. I bet there'll be strong guys. I'm really excited. They all turn and see Goku. He explains that Elder Kai gave Goku his life, so after the tournament, they got Shenron to revive him, asking Bulma to take care of it, which she agrees. After some training with Goku and Gohan going in the time chamber, Team 7 would head off to the World of Void. And that's all of him. You should like and subscribe and comment on loads coming in episode 5. As you can see, the tournament of Power roster has changed significantly, with the added addition of Cell, the kids, and Future Trunks. Also, we're going to have much more dynamic battles since everyone is pretty much stronger, except for Goku. How do you think this is all going to play out? Do you think Goku's going to get Ultra Instinct? And if he doesn't, who do you think will get it? If anyone at all. I will go to Trunks Fair, and will Trunks be called out for being from the future? Find out next time. Bye!